Hello. I literally never start videos in my bedroom, ever. But I have a little bit of time before work and I don't want to be in my office and I want to sit, and the dogs are downstairs on the couch and I don't want to sit at the nook, so I'm sitting in my bed. I also think that that is making starting this video super difficult for me for some reason, because I have attempted to film this intro like 3 times and my brain is just not there. I have iced coffee in this giant spirit tumbler, which is lovely. I'm actually gonna take a sip, 1 sec. Okay, let's see if I can actually get in the zone to explain to you what this vlog is. I will be reading books that I consider to be hyped horror. So in terms of hyped horror, I'm talking about a book that has appeared on Instagram or YouTube a lot in like the last 6-7 months. So one of those books is very definitely The Eyes Are the Best Part. That book I have seen everywhere. I think Gabby read it. I know Gabby read it because it was on her top 10 so far for 2024. Kayla read it. Your next Megan read it. I feel like someone else read it. And my brain is just soup. So if you read it and I watched your video, I am so sorry. I just can't zone today, and I want to film this intro because I want to keep reading The Eyes Are the Best Part, because I started it because somehow, by the grace of whoever, our library system got it, which shocked me. So they only had it on Libby, but my library gets like very random books, and it is not often that we get a horror book by a smaller author. Like, we got Camp Damascus, physical copy, mind you, in our library system. And I say this because my local library almost never gets horror new releases unless they're by like a big name. But it was in the system because it's the North Country library system and it's a lot of libraries. So I have no idea what library it came from, but it wasn't mine because I know I had to wait for it to show up. But Eyes Are the Best Part popped up on Libby and I was like, I don't know who requested this. I love you. I'm going to read this. So I'm not very far in. I think I'm on chapter 8. But I have started Eyes Are the Best Part. Then I have... Oh, the other one that's in my library. I don't have it yet. It's a physical book. Home is Where the Bodies Are, I think is the title. I feel like I keep calling it the wrong thing. It's the one that looks like a VHS tape. My library got that one too. And I am shocked. But that one was physical only, and I requested it, and my request is in, but I have not been able to get to the library. Well, Krista was going to go for me yesterday. Krista is my wife, if you're new here, because the library is pretty close to her work. But we had a massive thunderstorm with apparently reported funnel clouds, and the entire downtown area flooded. It's fine today, but it was flooded. So there was no way to get to the library because the roads that lead to the library were flooded. So she couldn't pick them up. But we're gonna go Thursday because today is not a day that we can run out. So I will have that book soon. And then I have Kindle Unlimited, which I pay for Kindle Unlimited and I pay for Audible. And Nestlings by Nat Cassidy is suddenly on Kindle Unlimited, even though weirdly enough, you have to buy it on Audible. They're owned by the same people. There has to be a reason that it's different, but it's on Kindle Unlimited, so I have added that. So not really going to get into the details of all the books. I'm guessing you might already know. I will describe them when I get to them. Now, the wild card here is I do have another hold-in, well, a hold I'm waiting for at my library. Horror movie is on hold, and I am second in line. Now, normally I would say that book is not coming in. I don't know what's happening with that book. I am only saying it might show up because my Home is Where I think I know the title book. I was like 3rd in line, 4th in line, and it suddenly became available on Monday, and I don't understand. So maybe horror people read faster, because I would like to say that when I get a physical copy hold of a book from the library, even a Libby hold, if it's a new release and it's horror, I normally try and read it really quickly because I assume someone is waiting for it, and that's just me. Like, I get very paranoid that the person really wants a book, so I'm like, I gotta read this really fast. So I read pretty quickly when that happens. The only one that's taking me longer than normal is Eyes Are the Best Part, but that is because I was reading a bunch of other stuff when it came in, so I didn't even borrow it until Monday, and then I was editing Monday, and yesterday we had a lot going on, so I just didn't get to it really, but I plan to finish it probably today. You'll understand why once I get to it. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no! I really don't want to sneeze. I don't want to edit around it. I don't want to stop recording. We're just gonna, there we go. Sorry, that was so awkward. But yes, so I'm kind of hoping to finish that one today. And then I know Thursday, because today's Wednesday, we are gonna go to the library to get my holds. I also have Silence of the Lambs in because I randomly was thinking about it. I will not get into that now because it's very weird that I suddenly was like, I want to read Silence of the Lambs for the first time. But beyond that, I'm really, really hoping that maybe by Thursday my horror movie, I think it's horror movie. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, my brain is not prepared to function today. I'm tired, I have not had enough caffeine, and like, I can't, the synapses are not synapting. But I'm really, 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 really hoping that maybe it comes in. And I'm really hoping, I really hope that it comes in when we go to get the other stuff, because that would be perfect. Now, I may add something if something pops up and I think that it would be fun. I would have had Bury Your Gaze in this because Bury Your Gaze was everywhere and incredible. If you have not read or listened to Bury Your Gaze, you need to. It is so good. But I did that for Summerween. Anyway, the first book in this vlog will be The Eyes Are the Best Part because I already have it. And then hopefully the next one, although if I finish Eyes Are the Best Part today, I will start Nestlings. And then I'll probably just finish out Nestlings and start anything else. But definitely Eyes Are the Best Part first, Nestlings at some point, and then Home is where I think it's where the bodies are, I think. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that title wrong. That is just what I keep thinking the title is. Also, I can't remember if it's horror movie or horror story, even though I think it's horror movie because horror story wouldn't make any sense. They're making a horror movie. Horror story is part of the title of a television show you used to watch until Delicate came out, which just read Delicate Condition, the book, if you wanted to watch the American Horror Story Delicate season. It is so much better. Anyway, that's a tiny tangent. This is a long intro. I am so sorry. Blame the fact that I'm a little tired and a little all over the place, but I promise the rest of the video will be as focused as a video by me typically is. So I'm gonna read a little bit of Eyes Are the Best Part before work starts because I have, what, 20 minutes before I have to do anything? And yeah, so I'm gonna read a little and then I'll talk to you more about the book later today. I'm going to be doing a lot of reading at lunch because I just will be. So yeah, that's the plan. I will talk to you later. I'm gonna do some reading. Hello, my hair is up, the fan is on, I am a little warm. It's not even like super warm out, I just feel warm. I don't know, it actually could be warming up outside, I have no idea, but I am toasty, even though I'm drinking iced coffee. But I'm here because I am now roughly halfway through The Eyes Are the Best part, and I'm not going to spoil it because I feel like a ton of people are going to want to read this, but I thought I would give some thoughts so far, and some things that like you would already know based on other videos, other people's reviews. So our main character is Ji-won. I think I said that correctly. I feel bad if I said it wrong because there's a whole section on how to say her name. Like there's a conversation where her younger sister is like, this is how you say my sister's name to George. So I'm really, really sorry if I mispronounced it. But in the story, he winds up giving them nicknames which show up a lot, which she hates the nickname. But in the story, the mother of our main character, Ji-won, this is like genius, Ji-won, yes, I'm pretty sure that's correct. My ability to speak any other language is awful, and I'm so sorry to anyone who is like, you said that terribly, you suck, because I would agree with you. That was probably very terrible. But her father leaves, and what happens is when their father leaves, their mother is a mess. But I knew I was gonna cough. I'm so sorry. Maybe that's why. I could be having an asthma flare and it's just making me feel not great. But their mother, because it's our main character and her sister, is just a mess. And we get some background on the mom, which I'm not going to get into, that does explain why she is having a hard time moving on. But suddenly she starts talking about dating, and she works at a Korean grocery store and winds up meeting this white guy named George. And George, she's like, oh, he loves other cultures, he's so well-rounded, he can speak Korean. No, George is kind of a jerk. We also learn that while we are reading everything in English, their mother primarily speaks Korean to them, and I believe they don't, she says that they don't speak Korean very well, so I'm not sure if they speak Korean to her or if they're speaking English and Korean to her, but they do tell us at a certain point in the book that primarily the mother speaks Korean, and because George says he can speak Korean and can't really, they wind up being like, how are they even together? Like, they can't even really talk. And our main character, I'm so sorry that I am reverting to just calling her that, but she is sort of just like, whatever, our dad left and this is what mom's doing now, and I guess that's all we can deal with. Her younger sister though is pissed. So we're getting two different sort of reactions to George, though primarily our main characters. So George can't say their names, which I would like to think I did a better job than George of pronouncing Ji-won's name. But he winds up nicknaming them JW and JH, and they hate it. He cannot tell them apart. He's confusing them. And then he winds up moving in with them, which I believe is all in the description. It's really just to put them all in close proximity for the story, so he would have to be there. And then while this is going on, we are also following our main character, who is going to college, and we start learning a lot about her friends before college, why we're not really seeing them, and then these new people she has met. Now, this has not come up in any video that I've read, but I think she's gay, or at least interested in women, and I could be very incorrect, because there's this guy named Jeffrey with a G, who I would like to point out that George is the other male, and then Jeffrey is also G-E-O-R. So I feel like we're supposed to connect these two people. We meet Jeffrey, and initially he seems very, very nice, but the longer you spend time with him, the more he's probably going to give you the ick. And we also meet a girl named Alexis, who is in a couple of classes with Ji-won. Again, I'm really sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I'm just going to keep apologizing about it, and I'm so sorry. But Alexis is genuinely interested in, like, asking about their lives, like, talking to each other. But every time we get descriptions of Alexis, they're always like, she's beautiful, she's so attractive. So I'm just going to say, I think she might be gay. I think she might be gay. Because she does this thing where she is, not Alexis, but she'll say like, oh, I'm not interested in dating, I'm only interested in my studies. And I'm like, girl, I have also used that line and I use that line because I did not want to date guys. I'm bisexual, but at the time I didn't want to date anyone because I am very sure that I wanted to date a girl, and it just wasn't happening. But I'm just saying, I'm feeling a kinship to this, but she's so beautiful. Oh, I don't have any feelings for him. I'm very into my studies. So I am drawing that connection. It may not even come up. It may not be the author's intention, but that's what I'm going with. I don't want to tell you too much more because really the focus is on this growing fixation with eyeballs, but I just felt like you needed to know that there's more than just eyeballs. And the eyeball thing is getting more and more intense as we're going on. The book is reminding me of something, and I can't... I don't want to say chlorine 100%, but the growing obsession is reminding me of chlorine, which if you haven't read, chlorine is about a girl who thinks she's a mermaid. And I'm like kind of getting that, but also the like growing... There's like a growing intensity to the emotion that we're getting in this book. And that growing intensity is reminding me of a completely different book. And my brain just cannot think of what it is because it's reminding me of something. Like it's a growing... Is it? It might be Mayfly. That might be what it is. Like an escalation in the character. Is that it? Or is that what I'm thinking of? Sorry, you can't see into my mind. You don't know. But it's like it's an escalation. It is an escalation in Ji-won's personality. Ji-won? Ji-won. Yeah. Ji-won. Ji-won. I'm just gonna keep saying it, and someone in the comments is gonna yell at me. You can. Please yell at me. Please inform me of how I could say that without feeling like an idiot. And I feel bad because it's her name. I should be able to say her freaking name. But it's giving me, it might be Mayfly. What else? I don't know. The obsession is just escalating. And maybe it's because I was thinking of Mayfly previously, so maybe that's popping into my head. Chlorine, the obsession with the eyeballs, feels slightly akin to the obsession with mermaids. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. I can see where people would say it is slow, because that has been the comment from some people. Not in a bad way, but just like the story is just sort of moving. And I enjoy a slow book. I really liked Plain Bad Heroines, and I feel like that story is also kind of slow, and that's a hefty book. But I am really enjoying it so far. I am enjoying the fact that I feel like as the story continues, our main character is going to continue to become more and more unhinged. But yes, so I'm halfway through. I just wanted to give an update and mention a couple things that I haven't really heard in other videos. I don't feel like those are spoilers, because this story is not romantic, so I don't think giving my thoughts on her sexuality really matter as a spoiler. I don't think that's a spoiler because it's just me saying things. But yes, so she is just getting more and more obsessed with eyeballs, and it feels like she's escalating at this point in the book. But I will not spoil anything else. I feel like a lot of that was in the description. I just mentioned 2 characters that no one else has mentioned, which I again don't think they're spoiler characters because they're just in the story. But yeah, so that's all I'm going to tell you for now. I know this update was also very long, and I'm really, really sorry. But I'm going to go because I got to get back to work. This was the end of my lunch break, that's why. And I will update you when I can. Also, definitely need more coffee, I think. Even though it should be, I shouldn't need coffee this late in the day, but I do. I really do. So I will talk to you when I'm probably done. I'm gonna wait till I'm done with the book, and then I will give you my no spoiler end of the book thoughts. So I'll talk to you later. Hello. Normally I would hold you, but we were grooming the cats earlier, and one of them just like really sliced my palm with one of his nails. So I cleaned it, I put new skin on it, but it hurts and I don't want to have the camera in this hand. So I can't like bend it all the way because of the new skin. So I am here because I said I would come to you when I finished. The eyes are the best part. And I finished. The eyes are the best part. And oh my God. I literally am not telling you anything. It would be so easy to spoil what's going on, but like there's like kind of a twist, but not even a twist. I don't even know how to explain the ending of this book to you. I just don't. Like, I straight up have no idea how to explain it to you because a lot of things happen, so many things happen, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. There is a gnat on my camera. Seriously? Well, it's gone now, but oh my gosh. That was so good. Like, if you liked Mayfly, I think you will love this. If you thought Mayfly didn't go hard enough, you will want to read this book. Like, I can't say anything. Just that I like ended it and was like, there's so many parts where I just went, what? Like, it was so good. For a debut, that was really good. For any book, it was really good, but like, for a debut, I'm used to like, sometimes debuts can be a little like slow or like a little like overly wordy or maybe like tricky, but no. This was so freaking good. So incredible. I had the absolute best time. I would definitely read it again, though I am going to return it. Actually, I will return it right now. Hold on. I also feel bad because there's someone waiting for Salem's Lot. And I don't know when I'm gonna get to Salem's Lot. Like, I have it, I'm gonna keep it for my 9 days. All right, but it's in Libby. I also have Woman Eating down there, but I'm gonna return it. I'm gonna return it in case there's someone waiting. There you go. I feel like it had a hold list and I like, it's so interesting. It just little flowers show up. I use Libby off and on. So yeah, no, someone is waiting for Salem's Lot, which I'm not gonna get to. I can try and prioritize it after everything else. Is a cat gonna bump you? No, he didn't, I'm surprised. But yeah, so that was good. Definitely worth the hype. I am very, very excited that I read it. I definitely recommend it very, very highly. Oh my gosh, I have heartburn from dinner. So fun fact, just in general, we get every plate because I'm bad at meal planning. So I'm gonna back you up a little. There you go. Sorry for the vibrations there. I feel like this lighting is making my hair look super weird. Yeah, so we get every plate because I'm bad at meal planning. And tonight was fake, like, I always call it fake Chinese food because it is like rice and then normally beef or pork, and then they like add a vegetable and you add like a soy glaze. So like it vaguely looks like a stir fry kind of, but I just always wind up calling it fake Chinese food because it's always some variation of like, they'll use some word that you would see on like a takeout Chinese menu. I did not do that intentionally. Also, they're not like, they're Korean. Everyone's Korean. Not everyone, but people are Korean. And that's the best part. But I picked that one because Chris had court and it's the easiest to reheat if need be. That and pastas, but I really didn't want pasta. And we had a pasta, but I made like beef and bell pepper or something. It had a goofy name and I don't remember what it was. But I have heartburn now, which is sad. But yes, finished the book. It was incredible. Again, I'm very, very glad I read it. And if you like, I'm gonna say if you liked Mayfly, definitely read it. I also think if you liked Camp Damascus, you would really like it. There is a little, I mean, with the eyeball part, there's like a little body horror. But yeah, highly recommend. I'm gonna maybe start Nestlings. I know I keep leaving, I'm sorry. Probably start Nestlings if I can, I don't know. I'm pretty tired, so like I don't know if I'm gonna read. Chris had to go back to court. We like ate dinner super fast and she had to go back, and I'm just watching a YouTube video I've already watched because it doesn't have animals in it. For the most part, there's an ad with a dog and all the dogs were like, "Whoa, dog!" But I have Nestlings on Kindle Unlimited, so I could start it. And I might do that. I don't know if I'll be able to read like at all tomorrow, really, because I know work is gonna be wildly busy. And then Krista is definitely coming home for lunch tomorrow. And I don't know, like sometimes I can read, sometimes I can't. So I don't know. We're also, I don't know, we'll see. I just don't know if I'm gonna read any tomorrow. I am going to the library tomorrow because I need to pick up books. Oh, that's Krista. So I'm gonna go because my wife is calling because she's done with court, but very, very good. As of the best part, incredible. You should read it. I will be back at some point to talk to you about probably nestlings or whatever I decide to do next. Bye. Hello. Okay, we are back in my office. My day is about to start, so I'm just giving you a tiny, like, intro to nestlings. I'm also wearing this very fun Keep It Spooky shirt. But I just started Nestlings last night and I read a tiny bit this morning. So I know this has already been discussed. You probably already know what this is about. But in the story, we're with Anna and Reed. I'm thinking it's Anna. It's A-N-A, but I don't think it's Anna. So I'm going to say Anna. They are chosen in this lottery for a very fancy, like, top story apartment, which I don't know why you would, like, have the lottery apartment be at the top of the building, but I'm guessing it has to do with something. So they basically win this apartment. Now, it's a housing lottery, so I believe you still pay rent. It's just at, like, a subsidized amount, if I'm remembering how that works. I don't live in New York City, but if I remember correctly from some other stuff, the housing lottery normally means you are chosen for an apartment, like, that's well outside of your means, but you only have to pay a certain, like, city regulated amount. So they've been chosen for this apartment. They aren't initially going to move in because what we learn is that Anna is in a wheelchair. Now, she is in a wheelchair because of her recent pregnancy. So she has not been in a wheelchair for an extended period of time. It's about a year. She got pregnant with our daughter, Charlie, and they used, like, an epidural, which is common, but because they were trying to avoid a C-section, she apparently stayed in labor for an extended period of time, which, not gonna call a plot hole. I'm sure a number of women do this, but I was under the impression that even if you don't want a C-section, if you hit a certain, like, we've hit this point, you need to give birth, like, we need to get the baby out of you. I thought they just, like, did a C-section. Like, you didn't really have a choice in the matter. But again, I have not had children. The only people I know who have had children either have not talked about their birth journey, or it was my own mother, and I know for a fact that she never had a C-section. So I don't know how that works. But because of an injury she previously had, something became herniated, and so she cannot, I guess, move her legs. But it is possible that in the future she could walk again. It doesn't sound like a high possibility, but who knows. So they get chosen for this lottery. It's not really wheelchair friendly because it is on the top floor. There is only one elevator, which seems weird to me because there are bougie people in this apartment. And so when they were like, there's like one elevator, I was just like, but this kind of sounds like the apartment from Riley Sager's Lock Every Door, and that had at least 2 elevators, I thought, possibly 3. I thought it had like a number of elevators in that one, and that building was shorter than this one. Though the 2 apartment buildings sound so similar. Sorry, I'm gonna cough. It's early, so even with my asthma meds, I'm still gonna cough. But like, the apartment setup is reminding me of Riley Sager's Lock Every Door. There are also gargoyles, which I know were a thing in Lock Every Door. So I'm just like, I thought, like, that apartment sounds more accessible than this apartment. But again, different writers. On top of that fact, the setup of this apartment just sounds very similar. I'm just drawing comparisons. Also, I've been thinking about Riley Sager because I think Riley Sager has a new book out. But anyway, they get chosen. Ultimately, they move in. But there's some, like, weird stuff. Like, the person who shows them the house has a weird scene with a cockroach. And then there's, like, they have this beautiful, like, garden area for the apartment building. And they're like, oh, it's from the mother country. And I'm like, the what? Who talks like that? And I am intrigued. But if I remember correctly, everyone has compared this to Rosemary's Baby, which Rosemary's Baby, they also move into an apartment they can't afford, but she's pregnant at the time. She has not already given birth. Actually, she might not even be pregnant. She's not pregnant yet when they move in. She just gets pregnant. I read the book, so that's the movie, which I think the movie's too long. So don't take my word on that because I don't always pay 100% attention to the movie. Sorry, if you love Rosemary's Baby, the movie, I apologize. I just think it's too long. I want it condensed a touch and then I would probably really enjoy it. I like the concept, just too long. Anyway, back to Nestlings. They have moved in now. That's where I am. We have met her friend Georgia, who is delightful. We switch POVs a lot, which I wasn't anticipating. And just as a heads up, this probably got brought up by someone else, but like there was suddenly a discussion of like 2020 and the death of someone from a thing. I'm gonna assume you know what I'm talking about. And like how it was rampant in nursing homes and in New York City and all this stuff. And I was just like, okay, that makes sense. But also you have dropped that on me at like the 5% mark out of the blue. Like Reed just has this internal monologue where he's like, he like wanted to talk to someone and then realized like, oh, I can't. And it just like, it felt very info dumpy. Like this is an event that has occurred before this. I'm like, okay, great. Also like, why? I mean, I understand it is an event. You can want to include it in your writing. It just doesn't feel necessary. Like having it in there just didn't feel like it was part of the plot. It just felt like oh, this book is set post 2020, so you need to know how 2020 affected them. And I'm like, I live in New York State. I'm well aware of how 2020 impacted New York City. We were constantly aware because it was in our news. It is like, there were so many things that I know that happened because I live in the same state. Now, New York City had different regulations and all that jazz, but like, it was still in our news all the time. Like I was getting news alerts about New York City, even though I don't live in New York City. So I'm just like, I get it. I got it. I understand. Thank you. So just a little weird. You can have it in a book. That's totally fine. But like, it didn't feel necessary to me. But I'm only 7% in. So what can I say? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it comes back to be very vital to something. I don't know. But yes, I am enjoying it. I just did not like that odd info dumpy moment where I was like, what? But I'm liking everything else. I do like the multiple points of view. I am intrigued because I feel like somehow Anna in a wheelchair is going to become very important in some capacity. Like, I don't know how, but I feel like it's going to be really important. And then Charlie is the baby who, you moved a baby into an apartment that you like won, and it just sounds like they're like, oh, everything's looking up, we're lucky. And I'm like, I feel like this is one of those like everything's coming up roses, when really those roses are like poison ivy infused nettle bushes that will destroy your life. But yeah, so I will keep reading at some point today and let you know. I'm only reading this because this is the book I have. I am going to be able to get my library books today. So at some point I'll be able to read Home is Where the Bodies Are. Bodies Are Buried? But you know what book I'm talking about. I keep forgetting the title. I'll have that soon, but I'm hoping I can finish this first and then just knock that out. And then we'll see where we go from there. So I'll talk to you later. Sorry that update was so long. I did not anticipate that being so long. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Hello, I'm sitting on my floor. It is a little bit after work. My camera was in here, so that's why I'm filming in here. I'm 75% through Nestlings, according to the little thing in the bottom corner of Kindle. So many things have happened. I am going to say this very definitely gives me Rosemary's Babies vibes, in that it is also kind of slow. Like, action has finally picked up, but it felt very slow. Like, building anticipation, building the story up, creepy things occurring. And the neighbors in this definitely, once we're introduced to them, definitely give me the like, oh, you've just like, the like too like odd sort of vibe that we got from the ones in Rosemary's Baby. So like, I'm getting that. They are, Nat Cassidy is actually mentioning things that are in New York City with like street names and things. We've had their former landlord appear. We've gotten some friends so we can get an idea of people they know. I'm trying to think of what else. I feel like if I say too much, I will spoil things. I will say that Anna is an audiobook narrator, which is very fun. She does a lot of voiceover work, I guess. She was a trainer in a previous life, also a dancer, but now she does voiceover work, and she has like a booth. The booth gets mentioned a lot, because it got damaged during the move, and it continues to be damaged for an extended period of time. Kind of for the plot-ish. I don't know. It just seemed odd to me that it's been, like, it's literally still broken, and we're 75% through the book, and I don't know why it needed to be broken for that long. But it was. We've gotten people having some eerie vibes about the Deptford. I think that's how you say it. They, like, delivery people won't come in even though there's a messenger door, which seems weird to me. I'm like, they can't just come into the lobby? They have to use a special door? What the heck? So strange to me. But they won't even cross the street. So they order a lot of delivery in this, and I am slightly confounded by that because they keep saying they've had to spend a ton of money, and like they spend a ton of money on fertility treatments, and then they spent a ton of money on Anna, and only, like, she's working, but she says she's like behind, and he's working, and at first I thought he was a lawyer, so I was confused because he works at a law firm, but he's not a lawyer. And I don't even know, he's not even a paralegal. He has a conversation in there where he says he didn't used to have to answer phones, and then the receptionist quit, and so now he answers the phones. But he was like doing fixing people's computers, doing paperwork stuff, like compiling paperwork, which in some cases I believe that's what a paralegal does. My wife is a lawyer. I am not a paralegal. But I know some of their paralegals like compile paperwork. So, like, I know that is a thing, but, like, you don't have your paralegal organize your email inbox. So I feel like he is an administrative assistant at this firm, which is different. So, like, I don't know how much money you would get paid. Like, I don't know what that equates to for, like, I just don't know. I don't know what the pay would be for administrative assistant / IT guy at a firm in New York, a tiny firm. Like, it only has 6 people, and he says like he keeps being bounced to like different small firms as they close. So yeah, I don't know. And I was actually correct. The 2020 stuff didn't particularly matter. They did discuss, there is a lot of this is in the note for the book, so it's not a spoiler. There's a lot of talk of anti-Semitism and the rise of anti-Semitism in the United States. That did rise in connection to 2020, but it only happens occasionally and only with certain characters. So I'm just like, I suppose that's important, but is it that important? Like, I don't know. And like, what's interesting is there's a side comment when someone is like explaining something to read, and she says, "Oh, you're Jewish, right?" As though that's supposed to explain. So I'm wondering if there's something, and this is possible, if there's something before the end of this book that's like in Jewish folklore that's gonna come up, because like oh my gosh, what was the name of that movie? I watched a movie that was gay, that involved was focused on, oh my gosh, what was it called? It was a gay horror movie that was very focused on like Jewish folklore and history and like things to like protect your family. What was the name of that? Was it called The Golem? I can't remember now. I feel so dumb. I can't remember. And I watched it a while ago on like Shudder, and now I can't remember. Also, there's a random Salem's Lot reference in this. Just thought I would throw that out there because I showed you I have Salem's Lot on my, on my Libby to read, like checked out to read list, and I just thought that was funny. So yeah, I really don't want to spoil things. There's a lot of bug talk, but that's in the note and does make sense because they like freak out about bugs and bed bugs, and they're in New York City, so a lot of that does make sense. Yeah, there's some creepy bug stuff. A lot of creepy bug stuff as you go farther in, which he said would happen. I'm just curious to see what I think of the ending, because I don't know, it feels kind of slow, and then it'll like ramp up really fast. And a lot of it seems like it's playing on like the emotions of Anna and Reed being heightened or altered in some capacity. A bit like how in American Horror Story, the characters like felt weird in the house. So I'm kind of getting that. And then okay, so this is probably because someone was talking about Night Film recently. Aaron X Megan, I think. But one of the characters in this is reminding me of a woman from Night Film, the former actress. There is a former actress who appears in this, but the setup of their apartments and descriptions of the apartments, like weirdly, I keep thinking of the two of them together. And I swear it's Night Film. I swear it is Night Film that I'm thinking of. So that's odd. But I'm gonna go because we have stuff to do. But I thought I would update you. I feel like if I tell you anything, I'm gonna spoil something. And I don't want to do that. So yes, this is where we are. It's like Rosemary's Baby with more bugs. More action. There is more action occurring. Just, it's still kind of slow for me. Like it seems long. Like too long. Like it could be faster. But I gotta go. I will talk to you later. Bye. Hello, I'm about to get changed, but I wanted to commemorate my outfit. And I'm gonna take my camera downstairs. So Krista and I can tell you about our evening, which was very fun, but super quick. This is my shirt. These are my plaid pants. I can't really show you the back of this exactly. Actually, maybe stay here for a sec. I'm gonna like turn. Can you sort of see it? It's sort of like a Summer Ween Nightmare Before Christmas thing. They did it a couple years ago, but I wanted to show you because I'm gonna take off all my makeup, which is already pretty smudgy anyway, and put on pajamas, and then I'm gonna eat a donut because Krista got me a donut earlier today and I didn't have time to eat it. So I'm gonna get changed and then we'll talk to you about our date night. So update incoming. Also, I just switched SD cards because in my last clip, literally it was flashing red. So I was completely out of room after I filmed that clip. But yes, so date night thoughts incoming. It'll be a tiny break from horror. I wore like a summer weenie outfit, but there was no horror in the exact sense. You'll understand. But we'll update you together once I get changed. So yes, be back very soon. Hello, I was hoping I was close enough to Krista that you could see her and I'm not. She's on the couch. We just got home. I already told you that. I changed into my oversized Goosebump shirt. We are actually gonna watch Prom the movie because we saw a local, is it like a local teen production?
Yeah, all high school students.
Yeah.
And it's about, it's from Stage Notes is apparently a local theater program that tries to raise awareness by doing inclusive theater, which is shocking here.
Yeah. But no, they did the prom and they're doing it all weekend-ish. They did it tonight. They're doing it Friday and Saturday. But we went tonight and it was really good. I thought everyone was pretty good. The only issue they had is, and I knew something was up because I heard like someone who is like volunteering, like someone's parent, because it was someone who came from backstage to like take a seat. She said they were having tech issues like very quietly before the show started, and they were having issues with mics. So like people's mics like weren't working, or like some people's were working but you couldn't really hear them, like it was all staticky. So something was up with their, sorry my edges.
But the actors all just kept going as though nothing wrong was going on. So they had great stage presence.
Yes, they were all very good. And I don't really know how old a lot of them were. I think Emma was a senior in high school.
I think there's only like 4 or 5 seniors.
Yeah, I think Emma was one of them because they had senior photos in the program and there was a person, because I don't know, but short hair, femme presenting. I'm going with she because they were playing Emma, but that doesn't mean anything. I didn't read anyone's bios. But yeah, it was really good. They did a really good job. We just didn't know it was like specifically high school aged production. So Krista knew that it was a local production and she got the tickets for us and they gave her student tickets. So look at that skin.
Young today, apparently.
Look at that skin. Look at that glow. Gen X. Didn't we determine you were Gen X?
Yes.
Yes, Gen X. Looking 18. Yeah, so she got student tickets for both of us. And then the girl taking tickets thought I didn't give her one because Krista gave her both tickets, and the girl literally went, she didn't give me a ticket. Like really quietly under her breath. Like I was trying to like break into the theater, and I was like, we gave you 2? She didn't say anything to me. It was like a young teenager. And I was like, okay, it's fine. We paid, it's cool. But yeah, it was really good. It was a little long, but it's a long show. I didn't realize it was that long. And they did start a tiny bit late because of the tech issue. I think they were trying to fix the mics or something before. And then intermission went a little long. But you technically weren't supposed to eat or drink inside the theater. And they had like a mini concessions by donation. So I think some people were trying to like eat their snack or drink. They only had water. Like drink their little waters in the lobby, so they gave people extra time. But it was really good. And now we're gonna watch Prom on Netflix, which I already said. And yeah. Oh, I said I was gonna show you my donut. Hold on. You're gonna see my exciting donut. I told you Krista got me donuts. Well, a donut. Technically there were 2. Someone ate my other donut.
There are glazes.
Yes, no. I can also eat the
The only one that's for the dogs is the maple bacon.
This is true.
To break up for them.
Alright, so this is an espresso Bavarian cream. Yes, and I'm going to have some espresso in my Cheers Queers mug while I watch the movie. But yeah, so I have a donut. It's from The Morning Ritual. Yeah, so Krista picked them up. And she got my library books, which you have not seen, but she got my library books so I can read the book, which I keep mangling the title of every time I say it.
I got the tickets. I've been very busy.
She was very busy. But we're gonna watch this movie, even though it's kind of late, while I eat this donut. And I'll leave you with Kira's excited face. We will talk to you later. Kira, say bye.
Boy.
There you go. That'll work.
Bye. Started, and yeah, I just have not had a chance to film. It has been 100 degrees plus days where I'm at. It's been very humid and sticky. Today though it's only supposed to be 93 degrees, so it might as well be winter now. It's been horrible, but yeah, to film I have to have my AC off in this room because it is very loud, and I just get very, very sweaty very quickly. Already very sweaty, so that's probably gonna be this whole vlog. But I did finish a book, which was super exciting. I finished Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. This is his new book, and I absolutely loved it. I think Tremblay's books just get better and better and better. Every new one blows me away. They're so different, and this one is very unique. So this is kind of like a cursed film book, but that's what I went in knowing. That's all I knew. And it is that, but I feel like it's a little bit more. There is actually like a certain theory, and I won't say it because it like will give away the plot. That I read an article about that is like he explores this like theory in this, and it's just so interesting. So the whole thing is like very psychological, but also creepy, and like also like mixed media vibes. The production of this audiobook was so fun. You get 3 perspectives. So you get the perspective of the main character who plays the villain in the movie, and he's doing his audiobook. So you're getting his perspective.
Hello. Okay. So, as an update, I have finally finished Nestlings. I didn't read any last night because you already know we went to go see the prom, and then we were watching the prom on Netflix, and we were up pretty late. And by the time, we didn't even, like, we still have 20 minutes of the movie left because, fun fact, our cats were getting very annoyed that we were still downstairs. So after a certain hour, we're normally upstairs, and the cats kind of take over the downstairs. We call it the cat club. But they were all getting so antsy that we were still on the couch with the dogs that they started like coming over and kind of being really disruptive. And so Krista was like, okay, we will go to bed at a certain point in the movie. And so that's what we did. They were very pleased about it. They all converged downstairs. One of the cats, Goose, she won't come downstairs a lot. She doesn't really like the dogs. The other 3 are ambivalent to the dogs really, but she really wanted to come downstairs, so she, after we went to bed, she definitely ran downstairs and played with all of her kitty siblings. But back to Nestlings, I did finish it. I also sort of skimmed the afterword. My thoughts remain the same. I do think the book is a little long. It does remind me of Rosemary's Baby, the film, in that way. I should at some point read that book. But I think the movie is also long. There's a lot of setup, and there's just kind of like the ending. At least that's how I always perceive Rosemary's Baby. Sorry, I gotta take another sip of coffee. Okay, so again, I'm not going to spoil anything. We get the reveal of like how things work, all of that, which you would need to tie up this book. The Salem's Lot reference I mentioned is intentional, very much so, per the end note. But yeah, it is interesting. I also learned that I was slightly pronouncing the main female character's name wrong. So the internet was remarkably unhelpful because there's a scene at the end where everyone is calling her Anna. Though I was calling her Anna, I thought, though I may have been calling her Anna. And then she corrects them by saying it's Anna. And so it's Anna, I guess. If I was listening to it on audio, I think that would have helped, but the YouTube videos I found with pronunciations are basically like, oh, that is very similar to how Americans say Anna. And I was like, thanks, that's really helpful for me. Her wheelchair usage in the book does occur. We get more invested in her wheelchair, and there is more use of the wheelchair in a variety of ways as the book progresses. There is a slight time jump at the end too, to give us some, I think, a feeling of like, I'm trying to think of how, of closure for the reader. Again, not going to tell you anything else. Yeah, it was good. I liked elements of it. The issue is, I keep thinking of other things it reminded me of, which is kind of taking me out of the story. And I understand, even in that, like, afterward, he says it's supposed to be like Rosemary's Baby and like Salem's Lot, kind of like the two of them brought together into a story. And the issue is, I'm not the biggest fan of Rosemary's Baby, the movie, which I think doesn't help him here. And I have not read Salem's Lot, so I can't draw from that as a reading experience, though it is on my list. It was on my list before this, but something about it just like wasn't my favorite. I still like enjoyed it, but I think I would have enjoyed it more if it was shorter. I also do kind of feel bad because in the afterword, or the author's note, or whatever you want to call it, he basically used a great deal of lived experiences to sort of, which a lot of authors do, to really influence the book, which he also says he did in his previous book, which I do really want to read, Mary. I just can't find it anywhere, which I could physically buy it. I'm trying to limit myself to things I can find on Kindle Unlimited, Audible, and my library. So I'm doing my best, and right now that is not on Kindle Unlimited, like without paying for it. And I have had other books that I like really wanted to listen to, or Krista did, so I haven't used an Audible credit for it. But yeah, so I still want to experience that book. But I feel kind of bad critiquing this one because it apparently draws from like a lot of things that actually occurred in a sense. So I'm like, and then like when I know that's the case, then my brain is like, well, are we veering into a fictionalization of a memoir? Like, I don't know. He does mention talking to doctors and institutions to like help influence his story. So my concerns about the, like, again, I haven't given birth, so I don't know complications they tell you. I know there's a lot of pushing involved, and you normally have to push with your feet. But this is a complication that could occur, which I'm sure it could. I just, the phrasing of it in the book threw me off because I was like, but I mean, I guess if she can't feel anything, but also you would think the people with her, like, I guess maybe they're in stirrups, so you wouldn't notice. Anyway, we're not getting into that. This was fine. It was not my favorite New York set book with horror, I guess. So it was fine. Definitely not as good as The Eyes Are the Best Part, which they're not even comparable really because they are very different, but I preferred Eyes Are the Best Part, and this was not great to follow that up because I was such, like, I was on such a high. So the next book that I'll be reading is, oh, it's in the bedroom. I should have grabbed it. But it's Home is Where the Bodies Are Buried. Why can't I remember that title? I just can't. I don't know. You know what book I'm talking about. But I'll be starting that at some point. I just wanted to update you because it is lunch breaky time. So I was like, oh, my lunch break is ending. I finally finished the book. I should do the update now. So I just still have coffee in that cup. So I've been drinking it very slowly, trying to like slowly wake myself up today. But yes, so I thought I would update you. And I think that's it. I'm also importing footage from earlier in this, like my other memory card right now, so that I can start editing this vlog. It's probably good that my horror movie hold is not in, because this is already somehow very long and I don't understand. But yeah, so there'll be this, one more book, and then the vlog will be over, because I think it's gonna take me a little bit to read the third one in this, that I'm not gonna say the title of again because I keep saying it wrong. But yes, so I'm gonna go. I have work to do, but I thought I would update you on the fact that I finished this. So let me know your thoughts on Nestlings. It might just be me. Maybe I was in the wrong mindset for it. Maybe because I am not a huge fan of Rosemary's Baby the movie. My brain was just like, meh. Like, the problem is if you compare it to a thing that I'm not a huge fan of too many times, my brain is gonna tune out, which I'm really sorry. But yeah, give me your thoughts on that one. I do also want to know your thoughts on Eyes Are the Best Part, but I feel like everyone's thoughts have been very positive. And I don't remember people talking about Nestlings after. But it's been a little while since people were like super invested in it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. And then moving on to the third and final book. It's also kind of hefty, so yeah. All right, gonna go, I promise. I'm gonna stop babbling, bye. Hi, sorry, okay, I literally forgot something that I was gonna tell you. So, that horror movie I was talking about, the Jewish horror movie with lesbians, it's called Attachment, and it's on Shudder. Or it was on Shudder when I watched it. But it also deals with like Jewish folklore, horror things happening to people because of something tied to Jewish folklore and superstition. But it's really good. So Attachment, before I forget again, to tell you, because I looked it up, because it was driving me a little up a wall that I could not remember the title of that movie. But Attachment, very, very good. All right, gonna officially go now. Bye. Hello. I promise at some point you will get like a more exciting angle or a more interesting angle, but you don't right now. So work just ended, and I thought since work was over, I would just plop my butt down next to my fan and give you some updates. I have not read any of this, but I love the packaging of Home is Where the Bodies Are. I kind of have a photo idea for this. I also think that if you bought this, it went in like a sleeve that looked like a VHS tape, like you slid it in so that all of this looked like it was going into a box, which is very cool, but my library can't do that. They don't want to lose the boxes. But let me prop you up with my arm. So today was very busy at work, and really all that happened is I finished Nestlings during lunch, and I already told you about that. But I've had some like stuff on during work / like during the day this week that I thought I would tell you about. So I've had some movies on. The first one was Lowlifes, which is a very interesting gory movie on Tubi, where there are like, I can't even tell you, I'm just gonna say a family kind of gets lost in the woods while on family vacation, but nothing is what it seems. I think that works well. That was very good. Also surprisingly gay. Then what else did I watch? Hold on, it'll come to me. Oh, I decided to watch House of a Thousand Corpses because I was watching old Halloween Horror Nights videos, and it had a maze at, I think, California, and that movie was horrible. Like, straight up trash. And showed me that Rob Zombie has been obsessed with The Munsters for forever, but still, I hated it. I'm so sorry if you like that movie. I did not get the point of it. It was annoying and too long and confounding because Rainn Wilson is in it, and Chris Hardwick, and Aaron Daniels, who plays a character in the L Word. But I was just like, what is this film? What is happening? The whole time. Like, I was just like, what is going on? So I did not enjoy that, and I thought it was too long. Then what other thing? Oh, this is totally because of Happy Haunt's library. So she watched The Blair Witch Project for Summerween, and I had seen The Blair Witch Project and its very goofy sequel, The Blair Witch 2, and the remake. But I haven't watched the original in a really long time. So I happened to Google it, and it was on Freevee. So I watched The Blair Witch Project, which still very fun to watch. It had just been a long time since I watched it. And then because I was watching Freevee via Amazon Video or Prime Video, it immediately started playing Curse of the Blair Witch, and I was like, what the heck is this? Is this like a crappy like remake or something that I've never heard of? No, Curse of the Blair Witch is a fake documentary they made about the characters who are people in the Blair Witch. Like, it was a whole like made for TV promotional thing where they're like talking about the missing students and interviewing family members and the police and like talking about the Blair Witch and all of this stuff. And it was absolutely wild. Like, it actually, like, it was a thing. Like, it was so bizarre. They apparently had it on television before the movie came out, which would, it would definitely get people to really think that those kids went missing. But it was so wild. Like, I was just like, what? So that was a very enjoyable double feature experience. So if you haven't watched it, Curse of the Blair Witch, free on Amazon. I'm guessing it's free other places since it was a made for TV mockumentary. But one goofy thing, Freevie's closed captioning for the Blair Witch is the television edit version. And I only know this because my sound was turned up pretty high on my iPad while it was playing, and I was like looking at the screen because it kept saying, so this in particular is a scene I noticed it for, but it happened like anytime. So anytime they said fuck, it would say a word that would fit the mouth movement, like when they do a TV edit. So they were like talking and they're like, the girl in the movie is saying fuck it, or fuck, like right in a row, and the closed captioning says let's go, like squished together. And I was like, what? She's very obviously saying fuck. And then it happened again. Like, he said like, someone said like, are you shitting me? And it said, are you messing with me? And like anytime it happened, and I was like, this is totally the closed captioning from when this aired on like Sci-Fi. Because I know it aired on Sci-Fi, and even late at night, Sci-Fi would, like, unless it was like after midnight, they still couldn't do the unedited versions of stuff, so it would still be edited. And I was like, this is totally just like stolen television closed captioning, which I'm sure happens a lot, but it was just weird to me that they wouldn't have the closed captioning for the unedited for television version. Because like, if you are using the closed captioning because maybe you can't have your sound on, maybe you have like, you need closed captioning to understand what's going on in any capacity. If you can't also hear the audio or have an issue with your audio, you wouldn't know that they were cursing. Like, you just wouldn't know. Like, the dialogue is changed. So I was like, why would you do that? Why? People would like to know what they're saying, I'm sure. But yeah, so that's my update. I've done no additional reading, but I've had movies on this week that I didn't tell you about. So I thought I should tell you, especially because the Blair Witch thing was goofy. Not the movie. Movie is still a very good found footage movie, but the closed captioning thing was so weird. And then the fact that Amazon was like, oh, you'd like to now watch this mockumentary? Cool, there you go. Like, it just started playing, and I literally was like, what? They also had the Blair Witch 2, which is the much less found footage sequel, which is very campy and very odd. And I watched it, I think, once at 4 o'clock in the morning while I was in high school or college, probably high school. And it's just goofy. But I didn't watch that. Just the original and the mockumentary. If I remember, I didn't mind the remake one. It just had a different feeling to it than the original. But I'm gonna go because I think we have stuff we're gonna do. We have an errand to run that I might bring you on. Maybe, we'll see. But I'm gonna go because that was all I had to update you on, and I would like to put my camera down. So I will talk to you later from maybe my home, maybe not my home. We'll see. I have no idea. Hello. Oh, I went super blurry. Why am I super blurry? There we go. There was a really nice like glow of sun. So we're in the car. Krista is driving, as you can see. We went to Coyote Moon Wineries. because they made cider for the first time this summer. They've never made it before, and I tried both of them. They did an apple and a blackberry peach, and we got 2 4-packs of the blackberry peach because I thought the apple didn't taste like anything. So whatever system they're using, I think it's the same one they use for their wine. So like they haven't added like something else. I'm moving the camera because I think Kristen needs to see. She does. So the apple one kind of tasted like white wine almost, but like an like it didn't taste like anything somehow. Like it just tasted like unflavored white wine. It was so strange. The blackberry peach smells really peachy and it tasted better, so we went with that one. And then because we were on, what route was it? Route 3. I held up 2 fingers for that. Can you tell I'm a little tired? Route 3, we drove farther down and went to the Thousand Islands. Alexandria Bay. There we go. And we went to one restaurant, which I, for the life of me, don't even know the name of it.
Boathouse.
Is it Boathouse?
I think it is.
Possibly Boathouse. I didn't even see a name anywhere.
It was outside with it.
Oh. But yeah, so we went to one restaurant and ordered
lobster poutine that didn't have lobster in it.
Right. And then
like little shavings of lobster.
And then we got mussels. Was that what the other thing was?
Clams.
Clams. And the clams were so tiny. They were the smallest clams we've ever gotten anywhere.
And unseasoned.
Oh, they were just in water. Like they brought them out to us in a bowl of water. It was so strange. And then we ordered a Wellington because I have made Wellingtons at home, like frozen ones, but I've never had one in a restaurant. But it was a venison Wellington, and Krista did not like it at all. And it was like so poorly put together. Like I was trying to cut it and there was obviously like muscle, or I think it's called silver skin, which is like part of the muscle. I couldn't cut it. And our waiter kept forgetting to bring us things we needed. Like he didn't bring us a steak knife, and I couldn't cut the Wellington with the butter knife that I had. We were sharing everything and he kept forgetting to bring us secondary plates because like you can't eat the mussels the way they're presented. Like you need another plate, and we didn't have one. And then like I didn't even finish the Wellington though. I ate a little over half, I think. I tried really hard, but it just was not pleasant. And like all the mustard was somehow on one side, and Krista said she didn't get any mushrooms when she tried it, and there was no mushroom duxelle on it at all. And then it said it had prosciutto on it, but whatever they used was very thick, and it tasted more like ham than prosciutto. It was very weird. So we left, and then we went down to 1864, and we got 2 appetizers because Krista really hadn't had much to eat besides the appetizers we split, which were not very big. And so we had this like, what was it? It was like a trio.
Seafood
trifecta. But it was mostly very horseradish heavy cocktail sauce with like, one had a scallop on it, one had 2 shrimps on it, and one had like lump crab meat, which was very good. But the horseradish in the cocktail sauce was really strong. So Krista wound up putting most of the seafood in the bowl that we got.
With the seasoned.
Yeah. We got clams there too because we wanted to see if theirs were better, and theirs were way better.
They were in a wine and shallot.
Yeah, sauce. And they came with butter and lemon, and it was just a lot better. And I got a cocktail that was basically just Hendrick's gin on the rocks with a hint of tonic water. It was pink because it had rhubarb syrup in it, but could not have told you that. It was all gin. It was just very gin heavy. And we were seated by the live music guy, and he was very drunk. Like, played 5 songs in total. We were there for probably a half hour. He went on 2 different breaks. One which he called shot o'clock, and one was just he needed to take a break. I don't know. But the food was really good, so we would go back there.
Yeah.
But definitely not to the boathouse. And we're just headed home because we gotta take the dogs out. But that was the evening.
Yeah, and my shift's about to start.
Yes, and Chris will be on call. I am the only one who had alcohol. I had a gin beverage and Krista has only had water.
I never drink when I drive.
Correct. So I'm just pointing that out because I mentioned I had gin, but Krista has not had anything. She didn't even try the ciders. I tried both ciders in like a little shot thing at the winery, and she just trusted my judgment. But I was like, don't get the apple. The apple is not worth our time. But yeah, so we're just headed home. We're gonna watch something. We have to finish the prom. We may or may not watch Master Chef's new episode. We might watch a movie. We don't know. We need to let Parker be out in the living room and like run around. But the issue is that he can only watch certain things, and we're not sure what things will work today. We're gonna go. I will update you when I have updates about something. So I will talk to you later. Hi, I'm giving you a super quick update while I fill up a water container for Goose. I am about to go take a shower. It is very late on Saturday, like after 10 late on Saturday. So I didn't vlog at all. I read a tiny bit, like a tiny bit of Home is Where the Bodies Are. We have been introduced to Beth, Michael? Yeah, Beth, Michael, and Nicole, who are the three siblings. Beth is the oldest, Michael is the middle, and Nicole is the youngest. And they're all back in their family home because their mother has just passed. Now, Beth has been her mom's primary caregiver, it sounds like, for the past few months at least. Nicole used to have a good relationship with her mom, but she was doing drugs, and her mom had actually given her this, like, not ultimatum, but had told her to get her chip, which would mean 30 days sober, and then they could like restart their relationship. And then Michael, is it Michael or is it Matthew? I think it's Michael. Why can't I remember this guy's name? The brother. He hasn't really talked to anyone for like 7 years. He hasn't been back. He doesn't really interact with anyone. He kind of left and started a new life without them, because he wanted to get out of their very tiny town. So the big kicking point, because this technically isn't horror, I guess it's a thriller. I don't know why I thought it was horror. Maybe the blood on the cover of the book. But in it, their father disappeared 7 years ago, I think. And they don't know what happened to him. He just disappeared. Beth was very actively invested in finding out. We've just gotten a reference to them having an old VHS camcorder, and that's, I'm sure, going to be the kicking point to finding these tapes that are part of, I know the plot summary because that's why the book looks like a VHS tape. But the big mystery is that he had disappeared, and then when her mom is about to die, she says, your dad didn't disappear. So the big mystery is like, what happened to the dad? And then it was, and don't trust. But Beth doesn't really know if that means don't trust anyone, don't trust a specific person the mom didn't finish, don't trust something. She has no idea. So that's where I am so far. Really not very far in. Yeah, I just haven't read very much. We did go see Inside Out 2. We watched the original one again last week just to like prep. So it was good. I enjoyed it. We got to see some character growth from the original emotions, and we got to meet the new emotions. I'm not really going to tell you anything about it. It was a fun time. And then tonight we watched Twister because I had never seen it, and we're probably going to go see Twisters tomorrow, because they do these like discounted really early movie times. So we're gonna try and do that tomorrow maybe. Krista still has to work, so we have to see how that goes. But yeah, so that's really all I have to tell you. We went to Red Robin. We got burgers. I made steaks for dinner. It was just a very, besides Krista having to work, which she did. She worked this morning. I was so tired when she left that I literally like took the dogs out while she was still here, finished that up, and then fell back asleep so soundly that I didn't even realize she came home, or that she ate cereal, or that she was talking to me. I was just asleep. So yeah, I was super, super tired. But yeah, so I'm gonna go shower. I did want to show you my cool Hex Girl shirt, so I'm gonna move you quickly. Ta-da! That's Thorn. Krista got this for me a while ago, and this is the shirt I actually sent with Salem when she got spayed millennia ago. Not really, like 2 years ago, but we sent an item of my clothing with her so she'd have it in her little recovery crate thing that the vet puts them in. And this is the shirt, by chance. It's been cleaned since then. I just wanted to point out that I realized it was the same shirt. But I'm gonna go take my shower, and then we're gonna hang out in the bedroom. But I have to go take this water up to Goose because she needs water we don't drink out of the taps. We have a water filter system because our city has horrible water. But yes, so I have to go take her water. She has some for her bowl, and I'm gonna go shower. I said that like 80 times, but I will update you sometime tomorrow, possibly with more book things. I feel like Nestlings put me in a slump. Like, I've never really felt like slumpy in terms of reading, and I feel like I finished that book and then my body was like, no more books. All books will disappoint you now. Just let it go. Let all books go from your brain. So I'm just trying to get back in the zone. But shower. Gotta go. It is late. I need to do that. I will talk to you sometime tomorrow.
He is beauty. He is grace. He is Bane. Staring into space.
He was actually, before I started giving him a bath, watching Gavin's cats, which was very cute. I'm just sitting at the Nook with Home is Where the Bodies Are, and Bane is trying to steal my book. He's also sitting on my phone, which I need to unearth from him, but it's fine. So I have had YouTube stuff on. I just finished Gabby's video, which I felt bad that none of those books like really worked out for her. Also weirdly, van life, Krista got into like watching a bunch of van renovation videos, and so we've watched a ton. It's not really like people living in the van though. We just watch like tours of these like renovated vans or buses or whatever. But we've watched a bunch of them, so that was fun. Updates, what do I have for you? Oh, I'm a little bit further into Home is Where the Bodies Are. It is Michael. That is the brother's name, though I had the birth order wrong. So it's Beth, then Nicole, then Michael, which for some reason I thought it was, this is on me. I just assumed the brother was in the middle, I guess, because in my family it's me, my brother, and then my sister. They're twins, so him being in the middle is by like 34 minutes. But that's I just thought he was the youngest. Or he was the middle, not the youngest, but he's the youngest. We've gotten to learn a little bit more. They found the VHS tapes. I promise I'm not spoiling anything. Let me see what's in the Stumble. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at it to see what it said. So they found the tape that shows the body that is in the description, and that's all I'm going to tell you. So we've at least gotten to that point. And that's all I can really tell you. We also, I'm gonna point this out because I did say you only get 3 points of view. We did get, at least briefly, a 4th point of view, and it's past Laura. So when they put in the videotape was described to us via the mom's point of view, because the mom is the one who's always recording. So the mom is very dedicated to like maintaining memories, keeping memories for her children. I was gonna actually have my hair down. I washed my hair, it looks a lot nicer. But yeah, so we got the mom's point of view, and I'm guessing that that'll be what happens if they put in other tapes or if they find her notebooks, because it seems like anything that the mom recorded or wrote will be in her point of view. So I'm just throwing that out there so that you know. But I am liking it so far. It's really, the downside here is it's really reminding me of a completely different Black Mirror episode where there are tapes that they find that have to do with murders that occurred. What is the name of that episode? Oh, don't bark. It was in the most recent season. It's about a guy and his girlfriend, and they're making a documentary, and they wind up finding out that his mom has some very creepy videotapes. That's all I'm going to tell you because I can't remember the title. I'm sorry, I was gonna look it up too. But that's what it's reminding me of. If you watch Black Mirror and you know, you can post it in the comments because I'm gonna forget to say what it was. So that's what I am doing. Krista is at court. I have made little meatloaves for us to have for dinner. And we actually went to the movies again, which we don't do. We don't go to the movies this often anymore, typically, but we went to see Twisters. And we watched Twister, single, or no S at the end, last night. But you actually don't need to have seen Twister to see Twisters, in case you were curious. It was fun. We really liked it. So we went and saw that, and then we got Chipotle and came home. And that is really what we did. We watched some older season MasterChef, and then Krista had to go, so I made dinner and I read a little. I'm gonna read more with YouTube on, but I just thought I would update you before I forget. I'm also wearing a fun Black Craft coffee shirt. I have been to Black Craft in Salem. I have not been to the coffee place because it was not open. They did not have a coffee shop when I went, but I would love to go. This is like coffee dyed and cute. I bought it because they were doing this like contest to win like an all expense paid trip to Salem that sounded really, really awesome. And if you bought an item on their shop that day, you got like some odd extra entries, and this was not that expensive, and I thought it was cute. It's the like two little goat guys drinking coffee. So yes, that's what I'm wearing. But yeah, I'm gonna go so I can watch more YouTube / read, and then I'm guessing Crystal will call me when she's headed home, because I'll have to preheat the oven to heat the meatloaves back up, and some leftover french fries from Red Robin, because I thought, why not just reheat them so that I don't have to make an entire side from scratch. So yeah, that is the plan. Big plans for the day. So yeah, that's really everything for updates that I have for you right now. I'm not going to talk about other things because there have been news alerts about some stuff that I'm still processing. And I'm not going to get into it now because it just happened and it's fresh in my mind, and I don't want to talk about it. I could. It's too fresh and I have not processed, so not getting into it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go back to doing things that are maybe going to help me process things in life, or I'll just continue to avoid them for a few more hours. Anyway, I will update you when I'm farther in Home is Where the Bodies Are. I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done today. I need to get this finished before Thursday because I want to post the video on Thursday, so I have plenty of time. I'm probably gonna have to return Salem's Lot on Libby because I don't think I'd be able to read it before it is due, especially because I have Women Eating still, although I think I can renew that one. Anyway, this is just me talking things out. I could probably also get Salem's Lot from my actual library or something. But I'm gonna read more of this particular book, which is not a horror book, even though this cover looks like a horror book to me. Like, it just gives me horror book vibes. But I'll read more. Talk to you later.
Tell, and you know what, the writing is pretty good. A lot of the descriptions are pretty lush. The word cop is used quite a few times, and that's always the way in my book. If I spend an extra half a star for that alone, when I finally end up reading this book, but even I can't say it for me right now, and I'm just worried at the minute. Like, I really want to invest myself in this and have so many thoughts and opinions on it, because I have a book club tomorrow for this book, and I just don't know if I have anything worthwhile to say about it right now. The characters are meh, the plot is meh. To be fair though, I wasn't a big fan of Studying Drowning, and I ended up falling asleep before the book actually finished, and then I had a book club for it, and I had accidentally fallen asleep during it, and I still managed to talk about that book for like an hour and 20 minutes on that live show. So you know what, maybe as soon as everyone starts talking about this book, I will feel something, and maybe, you know, just hearing other people talk about it will help bring something out of me. I don't know. I just don't think at this point now it's going to change very much. I have 139 pages to go. I'm only leaving at 9 PM. I might finish it tonight, just like plow through it tonight, and then at least I've got it ready for tomorrow. Maybe try and brainstorm some book club questions while I finish this off, and maybe like spend tomorrow just going through that and going through some of the highlights that I've made in this. Maybe that will help. But I'm worried. Like, I love doing book clubs, I love doing book club discussions, but it's hard when one, I'm hosting it by myself, and two, I just haven't really felt anything for this yet. There's still time. We might turn this around, but in a minute I'm just not feeling it. And I've tried Leave Out one in the past before. I've read Shadow and Bone. It was fine. It didn't blow me away. And maybe I'm just not a Leave Out kind of person.
Hello. I'm trying to get in the zone. I have on this very cute pajama set. I am going to put my hair up because my office is warm. And I have 120 pages left of Home is Where the Bodies Are. Again, I thought this was a horror book. Definitely is not. It is kind of a slow burn thriller. So we got the reveal a little while ago in the book of like the videotape shows a dead body. But like we're just like slowly investigating it, which makes sense because they're trying to figure out like how their parents could be involved, what to do with this information, like how they can like do anything based on this tape. So we have that going on, and we're kind of getting the personalities of the siblings. So I don't want to say too much. Oh, there was not that much in there. Great. I thought there was more in here than there is. That's fine. I brewed 2 cups of hot coffee, like 12-ounce cups, and put them in the fridge to chill. I will probably transfer one of those over to the freezer so that it cools faster. And who knows, I might even make more later. I'm just a little tired, and I don't think I'm actually feeling better. Like, I was feeling under the weather for a few days, and like I might still cough a lot because asthmatic with a cough. But I don't feel as run down. I'm just kind of tired. And I don't know why. I don't know why I'm so tired. But I'm gonna drink this coffee. Hopefully if I put one of those in the freezer, that'll be done in like the next hour. That'd be nice. And I'm gonna try and read some of this. Work has not started yet, though it is closer to work time than I was hoping. I had to do dishes. I had stuff I had to do this morning before I could read. So I'm gonna try and read a little bit before work starts, see what I can do. And then hopefully during lunch I can finish this, because I know for a fact that Krista is taking the car in. So we just bought the car. There's nothing like majorly wrong. Again, it is not a brand new car, it's a used car. There was a whole vlog where I get into the drama of our car. The driver's seat is making a funny noise and she wants them to see if they can like adjust something or tighten something and see if it'll stop. So they're having her come in this afternoon during her lunch break. So she's doing that, which means I will be home by myself. And I can hopefully plow through a ton of this. It's very quick reading. Like the chapters are typically pretty short. The like info in each chapter is pretty short, so you can get through it pretty quickly, which is helpful. So I'm enjoying it. It's just really at the moment we're in right now, it's more of like a character study than anything else, because like we know there's a mystery, but like the investigation process has only just begun. Like no one has really looked into anything too critically, and like some stuff happened off the page, so they like watched more videotapes, but we weren't there for that. And we've gotten like 1 or 2 more Laura flashbacky scenes from a notebook or a tape. Both are being used, so one or the other is being consumed by someone so that you're getting a flashback. But that's all I have right now. I am curious to know the mystery. I had a guess, but I'm not sure the guess is correct, because the guess I did have, something else happened and that made my guess not right, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I have another theory, but I'm also not sure those are correct. I don't know. I'm not trying to think too hard about it, because for thrillers, I sometimes like to just go in thoughts empty, or is it no thoughts, brain empty, and just like let the story evolve around me so that I am not upset by how anything ends. That's sometimes not the case for horror. Sometimes horror, I'm like trying to piece it together, and then like the Nestlings, I get annoyed and a little slumpy after. But yes, so I'm gonna try and finish this today. It is Monday, so it would give me plenty of time to edit and get this up, and also possibly give me time to, like, outside of a vlog, plow through Salem's Lot, because that is due at a certain point very soon. So yeah, anyway, I gotta go because I want to read before work starts, and I will probably not give you thoughts until the end of the book, unless something comes up that I can share non-spoilery, like just opinion-y thoughts that don't ruin anything for you. But I'm gonna go. I'm sorry that I mischaracterized this book. It's fine. I'm still keeping the title. I'm just gonna do like hyped horror, where one is secretly a thriller or something like that. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna drink my coffee, which very much matches my pumpkin outfit. So yes, talk to you later when I'm done with this book. Possibly before, but mostly when I'm done with this book. I know I said I wasn't going to talk to you until I finished the book, but work is about to start, and one of the characters is getting on my last nerve. Just pop them in the face. That's all I'm going to say. They are driving me up a wall, and also based on my reactions to that character, I have many theories, and I'm kind of sure my theory is correct. We'll see, but it's just what I'm getting. I feel like it has to be the answer. Funnily enough, I had Jan's reading vlog where she did 10,000 pages in 10 days. Like, that's the title of the vlog. And she was reading this audio, which I think the audio would have been good, because I feel like maybe it would have been 3 or 4 people, but I don't know. And she also was like, well, I guessed, and like gave some thoughts that make me think, nothing spoilery, but it makes me think that I'm correct. And like I am enjoying it, but like this one character is just really pissing me off. But I'm gonna start work because it's work time, but I just this character, I don't like this character. And I just need to vent for a tiny bit, but I gotta go because work. Just small vent before work. All right. Oh, you didn't get to see the full thing. This is the full outfit, FYI. It's like a whole set. So there you go. But my hair is up now. Work is about to begin. I gotta go. Talk to you later. Officially when I finish the book. I promise. I will finish the book next time I check in. Bye. All right. So first thing I'm going to say is my coffee I made is delicious. It is Joffrey's Maleficent, and I swear to you, it tastes like banana bread. Could not tell you why. I think it's the pecan, even though I've never made banana bread with pecans in my life, but it just tastes like banana bread, and it's great. And it's very cold because I accidentally, like, basically froze one of the 2 cups of coffee I made this morning. Incredible. It's not incredible. This book. It's fine. So, Home is Where the Bodies Are reminds me of something, I don't know when I heard this last, so this could be a very old phrase, but like a popcorn thriller. Like, it literally fits with my, like, no thoughts, head empty, read book, have fun, finish book, no deep thoughts are needed, no analyses, nothing really. You read it, you have a fun time, you put it down, the book flies out of your mind within a couple days. This one also did the thing. I read the acknowledgements / author's note, and this book is set in the author's hometown and based around the actual home her family built. And I'm like, why do we do this to me? Because then I feel like a freaking dick, because I'm just like, it's fine. Sorry you used all of your childhood to influence this book, and I'm just like shitting on it. I'm so sorry. Same thing happened in Nestlings. He's like, this is all inspired by things, and I'm like, God damn it, man, I don't like this book, and now I feel like an asshole. Like, stop doing this to me. I should just not. I mean, I want to read the acknowledgements / author's notes so that I have an understanding of where the idea came from. That's typically what they talk about. But also, stop telling me things I don't need to know that make it hard for me to be annoyed at the book. Okay, so I finished it. As I expected, it's what I thought. It was just what I thought. And it all came to a head very quickly at the end. And I feel like there was a lot of build-up where I was just like, yes. Yes. Yes, that is what occurred. I'm not shocked or amazed or surprised. I'm just, sorry. I'm gonna put it down. I don't want to spoil this. If you like a fun, no thoughts thriller, you don't need to do any deep thinking. You can just go in, enjoy it, be done with it, put it out of your brain. Hell, if you think this cover is really freaking pretty and you want to have it with the sleeve that I know came with this, but my library didn't give me because of course they didn't, like, buy it, put it on your shelf, make it a fun little display piece. I don't know. I literally have 2 VHS tapes back there. I can't play them on anything, but I have them because my parents had them and I wanted them because I loved the 2 movies. If you want this and you just want it in your life, do it. I'm not gonna stop you. I will say, if you were expecting like shock, awe, amazement, that's not what this book is. This book is a family drama with a very easy to guess twist. I'm so sorry, but it is. And a reveal I expected. Like, just everything was so expected. And then I like tried to think of an alternate idea where I was like, ooh, if this happened, that would be great. And I hate when I do that because I knew it wasn't gonna happen. So then I was like, why do I have this in my brain? Like, this is unimportant. You don't need this in your brain. You've made up an ending that doesn't exist. Ooh, the mail is here, I think, which means I have to go because the dogs are gonna keep barking until the mail comes, but I just wanna finish this video at this point because the only book that was like really worth it for me was The Eyes Are the Best Part. Guys, it's the mailman. I know that's why they're barking. Nope. Nope. Are we done? Nope. They're just gonna keep They also heard me yelling, I think, and now they're like, Mom's dying! I'm not dying. I'm just a little frustrated. Again, I am not saying don't read this book. I think it is a fine book. I'm gonna have to go tell them to shut up. One sec. My lunch break is like basically like minutes away from being over, so I was trying to do this super quick, but I gotta go see what's going on. I know it's the mail. I know that's what it is. Just hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, wasn't the mail. We had no deliveries, no mail. My neighbor didn't even start his motorcycle. So I'm guessing my next door neighbor let out his dog, who is a terror. And the dog was barking, and so they barked. I don't know. They're fine now. Nothing was wrong. They were just barking. Anyway, back to Home is Where the Bodies Are. So the problem here is I think I would have liked this more if I wasn't already irritated with how my reading of Nestlings went. So This is suffering from, Catherine is really annoyed at books right now. So I am trying to give, like, I feel more irritated than I rationally should be, because I'm like, you knew it. You knew it very early on. You knew it and you kept going knowing that you knew the solution. You did. You just did. So again, I will say, if you want to read this book, read it. I think if you're coming off of a reading high, like solid books, great books, this will be fun. You'll have a fun time. You will enjoy it. You will just be like, this is fun. If you're coming at it from a reading slump, or having read a book that irritated the ever-loving shit out of you, just put it down, find something more fun, then come back to it. And then maybe your brain will be less rah! It was a fine read. I like that we also got some of the mom through like flashbacky, notebooky things, and that we got most of the reveal. They do leave one thing kind of up in the air, but I think we're just supposed to assume what occurred, and it's not a big thing. So yeah, beyond that, it was fine. It was a fine book that I am only irritated at because I was slumpy and hoping this would make me more excited. But it's still fine. It's fun. It's guessable. It is, feel like it, I almost want to say it's almost cozy mystery-esque. And don't ask me why. My brain is just like, I could see it. I could see it as cozy mystery. It's not really. I think, and the problem is I also thought this was horror. I think this would have been really interesting if it was horror. This author does not write horror, but like, even if it wasn't like horror, if it was like kind of horror, like some like spooky stuff happened, like there is a dead body, you already know about it. Like, I kind of wish that like weird stuff was happening, like more weird, like in the unexplainable realm, like VHS tapes were suddenly like all over the living room floor while everyone was asleep, or like weird thudding was happening in the attic, or like just a couple like goofy weird things that even at the end could have been explained as like, you had a freaking raccoon in the attic, or someone was throwing the tapes everywhere and you all were just too drunk to notice, because they drink a lot in this, which they're grieving, so that makes sense. But yeah, so I just kind of wish it had horror elements in it, which is not the book's fault. It's not even supposed to be horror. It's a thriller. Still, I think I will again say, if you want a fun thriller you can just read and enjoy in the moment, not think too hard about, do it. It's a beautiful cover. It is a beautiful setup. Also, the title of the book is from inside the book, which I do love as a concept. So, not my favorite, not my least favorite. If I was ranking them, eyes are the best part. Heads and shoulders above everybody else. This coming in at a solid mid. Just fine. And then Nestlings, because somehow it made me unnaturally angry the more I think about it. I still want to read Mary. I do. Really do. But I don't want to think about Nestlings ever again. I'm just done. I don't want it in my brain anymore. But, sorry. I'm gonna go. That is the end of Hyped Horror, one of which is accidentally a thriller. Sorry. I need to read Salem's Lot, which I'm not going to vlog. I'm just going to try and knock that baby out before it is due, because I think I only have it for like 6 days, and it's a king. Stephen King takes me forever. So let's hope that this doesn't make my slump worse, because I still want to read Woman Eating, and I have a lot of holds at my library that seem to never be coming in. Whatever. I love the library. I'm not complaining about this. I'm just, some of them I really want. So I'm gonna go. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of me, please subscribe. Please give me all your thoughts about the 3 books that I read in this in the comments, or give me your thoughts on Salem's Lot so that I see it before I start it or while I'm in it, so I know if it's good or not. Brain. You can also find me on Instagram at ClefGoEverAfter, and I took a really cool photo of this book. Even though I wasn't really feeling it, still took a really cool photo. But yeah, so I will talk to you in the next vlog. Again, hope this was okay. This was goofy as heck, I think. But I will talk to you later, internet people.